Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Hard Count podcast. And today we've got Week 4 Pick'em. I'm going to be going over my score predictions for every single game this week and give you my analysis on what I think is going to happen and how the games are going to go down. Let's get into it with our Thursday night game. This is terrible. Broncos at Jets. What was the NFL thinking? This is the 32nd team in the Jets versus the 30th best team in the Broncos right now. It's going to be a messy game. I've got the Broncos winning 19-16. Could Adam Gase? I think Adam Gase is on the hot seat right now. He should have been on the hot seat from the second he stepped into that Jets building. He's the worst coach in the NFL. Sam Darnold is not a good quarterback. He's been playing very bad this year. Brett Rypien is starting for the Broncos. It's just going to be a mess. We've got Adam Gase versus Brett Rypien. I don't know how to say his name. I like the talent more for the Broncos, though. So that's why I'm picking them. Melvin Gordon, Jerry Jeudy, Justin Simmons, Bradley Chubb. They have those superstars, or not even superstars, just stars that the Jets are missing without TJ Mosley and without Jamal Adams. And without Le'Veon Bell. The talent on the Broncos roster is there. Yes, it's in New York, but I don't think it's going to have too much of an impact. I could see the Jets coming away with this one, but the Broncos have better coaching, more star power. They've looked bad, but the Jets have looked worse. This is going to be a crapshoot of a game. I've got the Broncos winning 19-16. Next, we've got Sunday football. This is a much better game here. The Colts at the Chicago Bears. I've got the Colts winning this one 23-22 is my prediction. I talked about this game briefly in my power rankings video, and Philip Rivers actually has been pretty good. He's outperformed my expectations, or not really my expectations, but just the general expectations for Philip Rivers. I think he has succeeded those. Foles did lead the Bears back from that huge deficit, but he did not play incredibly well, I don't think. And I think a lot of that had to do with the Falcons' collapsing defense just as much as it had to do with Foles playing actually well. So, the Colts right now, their defense is playing very, very well. And yes, it's against bad teams, but I still haven't impressed. Xavier Rhodes has been a sneaky good addition to that team. He's been PFF's highest graded corner at the moment. 2 interceptions last week. That Colts defense is number 1 in defensive DVOA. I think that has a lot to do with the fact they're playing bad teams. But still, I would not be surprised if we saw Nick Foles come down to earth here, really struggle against this Colts defense. This should be a fun one. We got 2 teams that we are not totally sure how to feel about them. The Bears are 3-0. The Colts are 2-1. How good are both these teams? We'll see this week who can win. I got the Colts here, winning by 1 point over the Bears, 23-22. Next, we have the Jaguars at the Bengals. This is another crapshoot of a game. These are 2 teams that are both bottom 7 in the NFL. I've got the Bengals winning it 24-20. And the Jaguars got destroyed on Thursday Night Football against the Dolphins last week. And they looked like more what I expected of the Jaguars from the start of the season with that limited talent on that roster. And I don't think this is going to be a pretty game at all. I think there's going to be a bunch of bad plays, not great coaching. But I think that Joe Burrow will get into a rhythm in this game. He has impressed me in that short to intermediate passing game. The Jaguars' offense is not remarkably explosive either, so the Bengals do not need to be taking shots. They don't need to be their weakness isn't going to be exposed on offense because they're not going to be needing to pass the ball downfield to keep up with the Jaguars' offense like they might need to if they were playing, say, a Kansas City or someone like that. But T. Higgins, he did break out for the Bengals offense. Expect the Bengals to utilize him quite a bit, especially in the red zone. Minshew did not look like himself last week, missing a lot of deep throws, which he usually hits. I like this Bengals offense more than I like this Jaguars offense at the moment. There's more talent. There's more to be excited about. James Robinson is maybe the only thing to be excited about right now on that Jaguars offense. But yeah, I think this Bengals offense is going to step it up, get the job done. Defense is going to do just enough to hold the Jaguars offense down. And Bengals are going to pull it out 24-20. Next, we've got the Browns at the Cowboys. And I've got the Cowboys winning this one 30-23. No problem here for the Cowboys. What have we learned about the Browns? They play well against the bad teams, not so great against the good ones. The Cowboys, to me, classify as a good team right now. I have them as the 11th best team in football. And what else have we learned about the Browns? That they love to run the ball. They want to run the ball. That's when they are at their best, when they're running the ball. But they are not going to be able to do that against this Cowboys team because we've seen that the Cowboys force shootouts. They're a passing team. They pass down the field. And this Browns secondary is one of the worst in the NFL at the moment. They've got rolled over by the Bengals and the Ravens. And yes, they weren't terrible against the Washington football team, but I don't think that Washington football team's passing attack can move the ball against anyone. So you get this Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb to get out there. You best believe that the Cowboys are going to be moving the ball down the field with ease. The Browns are not going to get into the rhythm they want to in the running game with Kareem Hunt, who's questionable, but Nick Chubb as well. So I just can't see the Browns winning this one. I think Baker's really going to struggle. The Browns offense is not going to get into a rhythm. The Cowboys are going to have no issue moving the ball. And yeah, I think it's going to be an easy win for the Cowboys. The Cowboys are going to firmly establish themselves as that best team in the NFC East. I think Cowboys win 30-23 in a relatively high-scoring game. Next, we've got the Saints at the Lions. To me, this is not even close. Saints are going to win 26-17. And hey, Matt Patricia last week, he had a good coaching week. But let's be honest, is that really sustainable from Matt Patricia? We talked about Adam Gase being the worst coach in the NFL in the Thursday night game, and now we're talking about the second worst coach in the NFL here with Matt Patricia. You've got the third best coach in football, maybe second, against the 30th right here, or 31st, sorry. And Drew Brees has not been good, but he's not been terrible. What I saw last week against the Packers was relatively promising. Kamara has done great. He's going to be great. I don't know if Patricia's going to be able to stop that with his defense. So, Kamara, been playing like the best back in the league. Saints defense is much better than the Lions defense. We saw turnovers last week for that Lions defense, but I think that it was just a lackluster performance by Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray in that offense. So, Lions had a good week. Saints are not going to go 1-3 here. They know that this is a game that they really should win if they want to be competitive in their division. If they want to stay on pace with the Buccaneers, who play the Chargers this week. We'll talk about that game in a little bit. But Saints are not going to go 1-3. They're going to go back to 2-2. Lions are going to go back to the team what we expect them to be. Saints win here 26-17. Next, we've got another game that I don't think is going to be very close. The Seahawks at the Dolphins. I've got the Seahawks winning here 30-19. They should have no problem with the Dolphins. You're going to be the third best team in the NFL versus the 24th best team. Seahawks are going to win in this one all day. And yes, the Seahawks are due for a loss at some point. I just don't think it's going to come to the Dolphins. Wilson has looked like the MVP. Most years it would not even be close, but we've seen Rodgers and Mahomes playing amazingly as well so far. So it is kind of a close race, but Wilson to me has been the best of anyone this year. Fitzmagic is going to run out in this game. We've seen it last week and arguably the week before. So even if it becomes a shootout and the Dolphins have no issues moving the ball against the Seahawks defense, which, I don't think is likely, but it's certainly possible, I still don't see this offense keeping up with Wilson, Metcalf, Lockett. Nobody has done it so far, including the most elite offenses in the NFL with the Cowboys and the Falcons. I don't think this Dolphins team has what it takes. So, the Seahawks are going to win this one 30-19. Next, I told you we'd talk about in just a moment, the Chargers at the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are going to win here 26-17. And the Buccaneers have looked great. They've looked good in the past couple weeks after getting beaten by the Saints week 1. And most people are higher on the Buccaneers right now than I am. I have them in 10 in my power rankings. I'm a little bit skeptical of the Buccaneers. I like them. I have been impressed by them in the past couple weeks, but those are games against the Panthers and the Broncos. Tom Brady has impressed me, but people can get as high on the Bucs as they want and as low as the Saints as they want at the moment, but I'm not forgetting what happened literally just 2 weeks ago when the Saints completely outmatched the Buccaneers. That score was, if it wasn't for a touchdown that was called back, like at the end of the game, it would have been an even more of a blowout. So the Saints completely mismatched the Buccaneers, and I don't think too much has changed. Yes, I think the Buccaneers are going to improve throughout the season, but I'm not ready to move them up too much. I want to see some more competition. I don't think the Chargers are that type of competition. They're bad. We thought that there was some hope after they almost beat Kansas City, but they came back down to earth as we expected. Herbert has looked like the inexperienced quarterback that he is, the project that he is. He will take some time to adjust. I'm not panic on him. I think it's the right thing to do, playing him. He will get experience there. But the story of this game, Brady versus Herbert, inexperience versus experience, literally the definitions of both of them. So the Buccaneers should have no problem with the Chargers. Next, we've got another not-so-great game. The Ravens at the Washington football team. I've got Ravens winning this one 34-17 by 17 points. That's not a score that I usually predict, but this is a complete mismatch. The Ravens are the second best team in football. The Washington football team is the 29th best team in football. And we know the Ravens' tendency to completely blow out bad teams, run over bad teams. They're going to do it again here. Dwayne Haskins is going to turn over the ball multiple times against this Ravens defense, which is still very, very good. That pass rush, which is the strength of Washington, is kind of negated. Chase Young is out, and Lamar Jackson is very mobile, and we've seen teams with great pass rush. It doesn't have too much of an impact when your quarterback is very mobile, able to get out of the pocket. So I think this is a complete mismatch. Ravens 34, Washington 17. Wouldn't be surprised if it was even more of a blowout than that. Next, we've got the Cardinals at the Panthers. I've got the Cardinals winning this one, bouncing back 27-20. They're going to bounce back again. We saw the Cardinals lose last week to the Detroit Lions. It's not going to happen again. The Panthers defense did not look so bad last week. They did get the W against the Chargers. They're due for another loss already. Kyler Murray is going to look like the great quarterback we all know he is against this defense, which is one of the worst in the NFL at the moment. Cardinals are a better team. D-Hop is going to keep rolling against this Panthers defense. He's looking like the best receiver in the NFL right now, and that connection with Kyler Murray is uncanny. Expect Drake to have a big week this week. They're going to get up. They're going to be running the ball. Don't panic if you're a Drake fantasy owner. He will be fine. This offense is looking great. I expect them to continue here by beating the Panthers 27-20. I don't think it's going to be a remarkably close game. I think we're going to see a good performance by Kyler Murray once again. Next, we've got a good game. 2 0-3 teams, but 2 0-3 teams that I think are better than 0-3. Vikings at the Texans. I've got the Texans winning this one 27-26. It's going to be a very good one. I think it's almost a coin flip. I've got these teams at 18 and 19 in my power rankings. And I think this is going to be very interesting because both teams really, really do not want to be 0-4. This game is both teams' last hope to even think about being competitive in their divisions or in for that wild card spot. It's going to be a fun one because, you know, the Vikings, I liked what I saw last week. They were able to get that offense going. The defense is still very, very bad, and that's why I am picking the Texans here. You got Deshaun Watson, who will tear up this Vikings defense. Deshaun Watson is going to show why he is my third best quarterback in the NFL this week. They've looked better to me. They're at home. They don't have to travel. This game could go either way again, but that's the reason I'm taking the Texans. They've got Deshaun Watson, who's due for a great game. And yeah, I've got the Texans winning that one 27-26. Next, we've got the Giants at the Rams. I've got the Rams winning this one 28-13. Do I really have to explain it? I'm just going to talk about this real briefly. Rams, top 10 team. I've been really impressed with McVay, with Goff. Giants just lost to Nick Mullins, led 49ers 36-9. Yeah. Rams win 28-13 in a blowout win over the Giants, who were the second worst team in football. Next, we've got the Patriots at the Chiefs. And this is one of the games that this might be the game that I am the most excited for this weekend. The Patriots at the Chiefs. I think the Patriots could get it done, but I'm still picking the Chiefs 29-27. And as I said, I think the Patriots could catch the Chiefs off guard here. Bill Belichick is the best defensive coach in the NFL, or in NFL history. Chiefs are coming off an emotional win against the Ravens on Monday. Pat's front seven is looking a lot better. I think Cam Newton could pose a problem for this Chiefs defense. And what do we know? We know that Andy Reid and that Chiefs that Chiefs organization was really looking forward to that Ravens game where they were planning weeks beforehand. And what do I think here? And I think it's that the Patriots are going to be overlooked. The Chiefs were planning for the Ravens. That was their big game. They weren't planning so much for the Patriots. There wasn't the film to watch on Cam Newton. And guess what? Bill Belichick was planning for Patrick Mahomes. This has been their biggest matchup in the past couple weeks. I think that this is a game that they are really planning for. And it's scary when Bill Belichick is given time to prepare for you. And so I think it's going to be a very close game. I think this could look a little bit like the Seahawks game where the Patriots just cannot quite keep up. But I would not be surprised if we saw an upset here. I think this is a sneaky game to really look out for. Okay, next we've got the Bills at the Raiders. I've got the Bills winning this one 27-26, and this is another sneaky, very, very good game. I think it'll be a close game. I think we saw what the Raiders could do, what they were capable of against the Saints 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Football. I've loved Gruden's play calling. He's done a very, very good job being creative. It is a very good offense. It's a fun offense with Darren Waller and company. I like Derek Carr. And, I think that this team is going to come out and surprise some people. I mean, the Bills defense has not looked the best through the first couple of weeks. They gave up 32 last week and almost lost that game. They probably should have lost that game. That pass interference call was questionable. And they let the Rams back in. So I was not too impressed. They let up 28 the week before against the Dolphins offense. I still think the Bills will come out on top because that offense has really impressed me. Josh Allen has really impressed me. But I would not be surprised at all if we saw an upset here with the Raiders. And the Raiders shocked a lot of people in Buffalo. So, yeah. Next, we've got Sunday Night Football, the Eagles at the 49ers. And I'm taking the upset. I'm taking the Eagles. This might be the last time I ever bet on the Eagles ever again. But this pick scares me a little bit. It's an upset pick. I'm not super confident about it. But this is the Eagles' last hope in my eyes. They have more to play for than the 49ers do at the moment. 49ers just came off a big win. They were trying to prove things. They could still win without Nick Mullen. They could still win without Jimmy Garoppolo, without their best players. They did that. They beat the New York Giants handily. That's an emotional win for them. The Eagles need to win this game. Carson Wentz right now is playing very bad. I've seen him play much better. It is very hard for him to sustain this level of play. That offensive line is beat up, but I think they're going to come out here playing better. This 49ers team is very banged up still, and I know they played well last week. I don't know how long that's sustainable for them. I know it's risky betting on Carson Wentz and the Eagles right now, but I'm going to do it. It scares me. Might be the last time I ever do it. But I see a bounce back week here for the Eagles. The Eagles are going to win it 22-21. Next, we've got the Falcons at the Packers. And I've got the Packers winning this one 36-27. This is the fourth best team in the league versus the 23rd best team in the league at the moment. I just can't. I think it's going to be. I have a hard time seeing the Packers losing this one against the Falcons. Falcons have been a joke this season. They've been very good on offense, but just blow their leads at the very end. We've seen the past two games. 2 games in a row. They've blown 15-point leads in the second quarter. I mean, in the final quarter, the fourth quarter, only team to do that twice in a season. They did it in back-to-back games. So, only way I can see it happening is if Dan Quinn pulls off a miracle to save his job. Expect a lot of points on the board. That Packers offense has been playing really, really well. And that defense is not. I think it's 2 offenses that are very, very good. 2 defenses that are not so much. Aaron Rodgers has been playing like an MVP right now. I've got the Packers winning this one pretty handily, 36-27. I don't think it's going to be close. Next, we've got the other Monday night game, the one that was postponed, the Steelers at the Titans. I'm taking the Steelers here, 27-22. People are asking, why just postpone it until Monday? Is that enough time? What's going on? I think they're postponing it till Monday just so that the Titans can get a practice in before they play. And I'm a bit low on both of these teams, the Steelers and the Titans, mostly because I think that the Titans are a little bit overrated. I've seen people with them as the 5th, 6th best team in football. They don't have remarkable talent on that defense. They are well coached, don't get me wrong. That offense was really reliant last season on Tannehill being ridiculously efficient and Derrick Henry running for 200-plus yards every single game, which has not really been nearly the case this year. So I don't think that offense is going to sustain what it was last year. I think the defense is not quite as talented as it needs to be. And the Steelers, I think I'm a little bit skeptical of because they've beaten 3 0-3 teams at this point. So in somewhat close games too. So, their defense does look very good. I'm taking the Steelers here. They're the better team. I think I've got them as 8th best team, and I've got the Titans as the 13th best team. And I think that they're going to be much more composed. They have not had the panic of COVID. They have gotten in practice for the majority of the week. Steelers should win it here over this Titans team that has not been able to practice, that has had concerns about COVID. They should win pretty comfortably here, 27-22. All right, those were my picks for week 4. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment. As always, thanks so much for listening. Until next time, peace.